right. This video is going to review the distributive property. Last year we talked about this property a little bit. If you remember, all numbers have certain rules, okay? There's rules that are true about numbers. We know the commutative property says that when you add or multiply, no matter the order, you'll get the same answer. Associative property, if you group numbers together when you add or multiply, you can group them differently and you would still get the same answer. So there is another property called the distributive property. Sometimes last year we would say we would do Spider-Man is what it was called. So I'm going to review that with you. So what the distributive property says to do is that whatever number is on the outside of the parentheses, you are going to multiply it to everything on the inside. So this is saying if I have a basket and inside the basket is 3x plus 6, I have two baskets of 3x plus 6. So how much should I have altogether? So what you're doing is with everything on the outside, you multiply it, or whatever's on the outside, you multiply it to everything on the inside. So 2 times 3x. So if I have 3 xylophones, I have 2 sets of 3 xylophones. So 2 times 3 is 6, and then we just put our label, think of it as kind of like a label, 6x. So you're multiplying these front numbers, and then your variable just stays the same. Plus, now, the reason it's plus is because this is a positive 6, and 2 times 6 is positive 12. So that would be our answer. That's it. We can't put those together. We can't say 6 plus 12 is 18, okay, because these are not like terms. This would be our final answer. This is simplified using the distributive property. All right. Now we're going to look and see what happens when we involve some negatives, okay? So I'm going to put negative 5 out here times, and let's do, we'll do 4g plus 10, okay? So I'm going to take whatever's on the outside and multiply it to both things on the inside. So now negative 5 times 4 would be negative 20, and we put our g. Negative 5 times positive 10, you would get negative 50. Now, I want to show you what's going to happen. So we did that, negative 5 times 10. I'm going to show you what's going to happen if this were subtraction inside here. Okay. Erase that. I'll go to a different color now and do that one down below. Now, again, we have negative 5 times 4g. That's negative 20g. But now let's look what's going to happen here. I'm saying to do negative 5 times negative 10. So 5 times 10 is 50, but a negative times a negative is a positive. So when you do distributive property, you got to be careful of those positive and negative signs. You got to watch those very closely. All right. Now I'm going to show you a problem that puts a variable on the outside, okay? So 3x, and then let's do 5x plus 10. Okay, now you have to be careful here. So I'm still multiplying to everything in there. 3 times 5 is 15. X times x. All right, remember, 3 times 3 we know is 9, but another way we could say 3 times 3 is 3 squared, 3 to the second power. So x times x, taking a number times itself 2 times, we could say is x squared. When you're multiplying two variables, when you multiply, you get x squared. Now, when we did combine like terms the other day, if this would have been 3x plus 5x, okay, that's not 8x squared or anything like that. That was just 8x. But when you multiply x times x, you would get x squared. All right, now 3x times 10. Okay, so think of this as I have 10 sets of 3 xylophones. So 3 times 10 would be 30. This is positive because it's a positive 3 times 10. But now 10 sets of 3 xylophones, I have 30 xylophones. Okay, if there's an x out here, times a plain number, you have to remember to put the x there, okay? So you have to just be careful of that. When there's a variable out here, variable times a variable is x squared, and then with a variable times a plain number, you have to put that variable there. All right. Okay, one more type of problem I want to show you with the distributive property. We'll kind of go back to a basic one, but we're going to add another element here. So we're going to do, let's do 7 times 3h minus 10, and then I'm going to add here plus 5h. Okay, so I see those parentheses. First thing we got to do is get rid of those parentheses, okay? They're bad. Parentheses are bad. We want to get rid of them. That's our first step, is to get rid of parentheses. So right now, we are not going to do anything with this 5h. 7 times 3h is 21h. 7 times negative 10 is negative 70. Now, we do not do 7 times 5h because that is not on the inside of the parentheses. Instead, we just bring down the 5h. Now, we're not done. What do you think we can do? Okay, yes, we can put shapes, we can draw shapes and put like terms together. So 21h is a circle, 5h is a circle. Negative 70 is a square. So now we can put our 21 and our 5 together, and that would make 26h. It's not h squared because we're adding. And then we just write minus 70. Okay, now we would be done. All right, very good. So this is the distributive property. Next up, you're going to be doing a Google Doc to practice this. So make a copy of that and let me know if you need any help.